The Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh are on the second day of their visit to Wales to mark her Diamond Jubilee. This morning they were in Aberfan, the town that was engulfed by a landslide which claimed 144 lives in October 1966. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell has sent this report.
It's a year which will bring back many memories from her 60 years as Queen. But few places in Britain recall quite such searing memories of tragedy as this village in the valleys of South Wales. This was Aberfan on the morning of the 21st of October 1966. A colliery waste tip had collapsed onto the village. At the local junior school, children were in their classrooms when the landslide struck. Their parents, many of them miners from the local colliery, rushed to the school and started to dig. It was all in vain. 116 children and 28 adults had died. The nation was stunned. This was the BBC's Cliff Mitchellmore broadcasting live on the night of the disaster.
Never in my life have I ever seen anything like this. I hope that I shall never ever see anything like it again.
Initially, the Queen's response to the disaster was hesitant. It was a misjudgment. Only after 9 days did she go to Aberfan and tour the village. She's been back several times since, and today she met some of those men and women who, nearly 50 years ago, lost sons and daughters. The visit meant a lot.
It's still fresh in their mind, almost as fresh as it is in ours. Yeah.
The Queen opened a new primary school, a place for today's children in a village which still mourns the generation which was lost.
The Queen has never forgotten Aberfan. Mindful perhaps of that initial slight hesitation, she particularly wanted her Diamond Jubilee tour to include the village.
As she left, the leader of the local council, Jeff Edwards, presented her with a book recalling the disaster. In 1966, he was 8. He was the last child to be rescued alive from the debris.
It brings back poignant memories of what happened to me on that day, but it also, with the support of the Queen, has helped us get through very, very difficult times.
Aberfan, a place of tragedy in the early years of the Queen's reign, and not forgotten as she celebrates her Diamond Jubilee. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News, Aberfan.
Good afternoon and welcome to Christchurch here in Ebbw. The Queen left here just over half an hour ago after a service at Christchurch and after making her one and only speech of her Diamond Jubilee tour. Now in it she praised the spirit of the people of Ebbw. She said she admired their fortitude and resilience following the closure of the steelworks and the economic hardship that followed. She also said she'd travelled the length and breadth of the country during her reign and shared the joy and sadnesses of the people of Wales, and that she was struck by a sense of pride and optimism of people here. Now this speech came after she visited Aberfan to open a new community primary school there, as Caroline Evans reports.
In a year packed with celebrations in her honour, a poignant moment as the Queen arrived in Aberfan. Accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh, she came to open this school. It is her 4th visit here. With the Duke of Edinburgh at her side, she came to lend her support just a week after the disaster. Clearly moved by what she witnessed then, she returned in 1971 to open a community centre built with the donations which poured in from across the world. And again in 1997 when she visited the Garden of Remembrance. Her presence then was very much appreciated by the community, as it was again today.
It was an absolutely wonderful experience for the whole of Aberfan, and not only that, for the children of Ynysowen School. My granddaughter attends the school, she's 9, and she was absolutely thrilled to see the Queen.
Oh, I think it's fantastic for the village. It's wonderful to see her. We've all, come out in the weather. It just doesn't matter, it's just a fantastic occasion.
During an hour-long visit, the Queen met with survivors and bereaved families.
44 years ago, she promised me, when you build your school, I will come and open it for you. And she's come and fulfilled that promise, and I thanked her for that.
It's nice to think that she hasn't forgotten us, because, it's a good many years since the disaster happened, and she's been down here 3 times now, hasn't she? 3 times, and it was nice to think that she hasn't forgotten us.
Among them too, the boy whose white hair helped rescuers spot him in the darkness.
For me, today was about looking to the future and showing how communities can regenerate after a traumatic incident. And whilst we did remember the people of the past and the lost generation of Aberfan, today's celebration was about the new generation, the young children here, the new school being opened.
For the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, it's been a time for reflection, certainly, but also an opportunity to help lay the way for the future of Aberfan. And the families told me she left promising that she will come back.
Now, not so long ago, the streets that you can see behind me were crammed with hundreds of people welcoming the Queen. Everybody that I spoke to was absolutely delighted that she'd come to visit Ebbw Vale. Let's talk to some of the people who actually met her today. Sheridan Bartlett is the mayoress and the youngest mayoress in Britain at 20 years of age. You did meet the Queen and the Duke today, didn't you? What did they say to you?
They spoke very briefly because there was a lot of people. They said thank you and goodbye and did I enjoy my role? So it was very exciting, very, very, very good.
And tell us a little bit about how you came to be the youngest mayoress in Great Britain.
Well, my grandfather had to choose a mayoress, but unfortunately my grandmother had passed away. So he asked me to take her place because I used to look after my grandmother when she was ill. So that's how I became the mayoress.
And how do you feel as such a young mayoress? It's not something you traditionally associate with a 20-year-old.
No, it's been a wonderful experience. I've loved the whole year, and if I could do it all over again, I certainly would, yeah.
And an exciting day today.
Oh, fabulous. Best day of the year. Best day.
Brilliant, Sheridan, thank you very much. Well, now these three young ladies that you can see here handed the Queen posies today, didn't you, Millie? How was that for you?
I was very excited and happy, and I didn't sleep much last night.
I'm sure you didn't. And what about you? What was it like meeting the Queen today?
I was very happy and proud.
Oh, I'm sure. And Connie, you also handed over a posy, didn't you? How did you feel about that?
Happy.
Very happy. I bet you all did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Well, the Queen has now headed off to the Glanesk estate in Crickhowell. We'll have much more on her visit from there in BBC Wales Today tonight at 6:30. For now, back to you in the studio.